On the news tonight, FCTA reads Riot Act to traffic rule violators. FCTA administration partners Nigeria Meteorological Agency on climate prediction to enhance food production. And Nigeria joins global community to mark this year's International Day of Sports. Good evening, viewer. Thank you for joining us on the news desk of NTA Channel 5 Abuja at 7. My name is Tessie Omeri. We begin on traffic issues. Henceforth, all violators of traffic rules and regulations will be subjected to a 3-day compulsory training after prosecution. Directorate of Road Traffic Services, Abdulatif Bello, made this known during a recent raid of illegal activities of motorcycles and tricycles in Abuja. Onoze Yakubu tells us more.
Within 2 weeks of operations, more than 150 vehicles, 300 motorcycles, and 15 tricycles were impounded at different locations. The operations is to rid the city of rickety vehicles and ensure that motorcycles operate within the approved routes, as violators will be prosecuted.
They are going to be made to face, the law as quickly as possible. But before they face the mobile courts, they will have to undergo 3 days training compulsorily to acquaint themselves with the rules and the regulation of using our roads.
It's what will become a complete package. The city had reached a point where we can no longer work as separate components. Both the environmental component, as you are seeing going on behind, both the DRTS component, both the development control component, both the parks component, both the SDS component. They are all one and same under the FCT administration. I think that's what we have all been doing here.
The enforcement was carried out at Shire 1, Apple Bridge, Airport Road, and Gishiri Junction, which the enforcement team says will be sustained. Onoze Yakubu, NT News.
And now to agriculture. The Federal Capital Territory Administration, in partnership with the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has sensitized FCT farmers to seasonal climate prediction for increased food production. Secretary FCT Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat, Abubakar Ibrahim, says it is with a view to educating farmers on important information on weather conditions as they affect agriculture and other socio-economic conditions. Ifeanyi Izumba has details.
Being aware of real-time weather conditions like air and dew temperature, precipitation and humidity is the best way to protect crops and secure a high and healthy yields. Secretary Agri-Secretariat Abubakar Ibrahim, who was speaking at the event, revealed that the task before them is to evolve strategies that will help mitigate the harsh effects of climate change.
We are trying to see how we can improve our production in the FCT so that in the near future we can be able to take care of not only Northeast, the entire country.
The capable team from NIMET are not only here to present the downscaling of the FCT, but also to interact and understand the specific needs of the user community.
Director of Agri Services, Francisca Ihekando, said the forecast, which was presented by experts, will give information on the onset, duration and quantity of rain and dry season.
Information on rainfall pattern can be utilized to manage the devastating effect of fallen worm pest, which originated from America and have posed a serious threat to food security in Nigeria since 2016.
The farmers' extension agents and other stakeholders who were privileged to be there were encouraged to seize the opportunity afforded by the program to gather all the necessary information needed to ensure food sufficiency in the territory. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Izumba, NT News.
And now to politics. A former chief judge of Anambra State, Professor Peter Umadi, has formally joined the race for the presidency in 2023 and has picked the nomination form of the All Progressives Grand Alliance APGA. A former Ojinta reports that the presidential aspirant who pledged to work towards upholding the unity of Nigeria if given the opportunity was accompanied by supporters from across the country.
Professor Peter Umeadi, who hails from Anambra State, was accompanied to the national headquarters of the All Progressives Grand Alliance APGA by a crowd of party faithful and supporters who believe in the capacity of a man they described as a seasoned technocrat that can steer the affairs of the country in the right direction.
We found him to be the most eligible, most credible, sellable, and serviceable of all potential Igbo presidential aspirants.
He's ably qualified, highly qualified to rule Nigeria. And because we have tested him in the judiciary, we know what he's capable of doing. So we believe in him. That is why you see this crowd here. And more are waiting to watch on television.
Looking at his antecedents, and you come to realize that this is the man fit for the job.
The man of the moment, who picked the 25 million naira expression of interest and nomination forms, promises to bring good leadership, strengthen separation of power, rule of law, and due process.
If I'm made the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will remove my personal interest from running the affairs of Nigeria. And I think that is cardinal. We have to reconcile with ourselves, and we have to build a country where everybody will have equal opportunities.
A professor of law and emeritus chief judge of Anambra State, Professor Peter Umadi has the endorsement of the Association of Southeast Past Presidents General, among many other notable groups. Ifeoma Ojinta, NTA News.
Vocational and skill acquisition should be prioritized for socio-economic development of the country. Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule made the assertion during the inauguration of the Skill Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Center, North Central of National Youth Service Corps at the Magaji Danya Musa Permanent Orientation Camp in Kefi. Muhammad Awalu has details.
Bakery, garment and water factories, computer lab, among other projects were commissioned. The State Governor, Abdullahi Sule, says the era of over-reliance on government for white-collar jobs is over, hence the need for graduates to embrace entrepreneurial skills for survival.
The need for us not only to acquire a degree, but to acquire a skill. So with this, I want to thank you for your vision, for redefining and reinvigorating the NYSC as a whole.
The acquisition of the skill, which is so critical because the government is not in a position today to give employment to every quarter after graduation.
We are happy because you have set the pace for everybody to come and learn from you. You have also fought seriously, and you are still fighting the poverty in our community, in the state, and in the country in general.
Director General, National Youth Service Corps, Major General Shuaibu Ibrahim, says the scheme is not only about national integration, but also an avenue for youth to acquire vocational and technical skills for self-reliance.
In 2012, NYSC introduced what we call the skill acquisition and entrepreneurship training for all our corps members. And corps members that have taken advantage of this platform, they have established their businesses. Apart from being self-reliant and create wealth, they have also employed thousands of fellow Nigerians and taking it off the unemployment market.
As a bank,
This is not pride for us to support youth empowerment and economic development.
From Magaji Daya Musa, Permanent Orientation Camp Kefi, Muhammad Sani Awalu, NTA News.
Looking fresh for your date? Get even fresher with Close Up. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula. It cleans deeply, fights 99% of bacteria, and cools intensely, keeping you protected and fresh. Protected and fresh. Protected and fresh. Let's take a picture. Protected and fresh. Still fresh, still protected. Feeling cool and protected. All day confidence to get close. Oh, yeah, take it close. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula.
Ko kun san abu mafi sauki a gare ni shine wato hada nin dina da lambobi na Glo. Za a iya yin daya a cikin wayannan dan wato in kira lamban *109* NIN#, ko kuma in kira wato 109 kuma wato in saurari duk umarnin da aka bani in yi amfani da shi. Idan kuma bana so in kira fa sai in tura sakon text na nin dina zuwa 109. Idan kuma ka manta wato da lambar nin ɗin kafa, za ka iya buga *346#. Take lambar za ta fito. Idan kuma ka manta ba ka yi rajista ɗin nin ɗin kafa, kar ka damu. Ka samu ka shiga kowane ofishin Glo World mafi kusa da kai kai rajista. Haɗa nin ɗinka da lambar Glo ɗinka ba wuya, abu ne mai sauki 100%. Ka ji dai.
Glo Unlimited.
And now to sports. Sport has always helped in national integration of a people because of the significant role it plays in identifying talents, promoting fair play, and inspiring hard work. Asabe Tonimu Williams examines the International Day of Sports, celebrated every 6th of April, from this perspective of its power as a unifying factor.
Records show that rival countries have arranged various sporting events like peaceful cricket, football matches after war, or any clash to sort out issues among themselves. As sports is popular among the youth as well as among all the sections of the society, it also contributes to physical fitness and also for a better mental health. It strengthens relations among countries and contributes immensely to peaceful coexistence. These are some of the reasons sports has been chosen for development, as further explained by a seasoned sports administrator who underscores the significance of the theme, securing a sustainable and peaceful future for all, the contribution of sports.
And Nigeria, being a member of the United Nations, actually signed into that pact to use sports for development in the world. It is that singular factor that can bring about turnaround change at grassroots level. Schools, primary schools, secondary schools, universities, and it is at this level that you can use sports to actually imbibe in these children the necessary or the much desired discipline. And it is also at this level you can imbibe the spirit of peace and unity among the children.
In commemorating this day, the United Nations usually try to identify the positive influence that sports can have on the advancement of human rights, social and economic development. It arranges various discussions of experts and online events which can guide other countries to link sports with development and peace.
Asabe Williams.
And still talking sports, the Executive Committee of the Nigerian Football Federation mandate its Technical and Development Subcommittee to within 5 days make recommendations for new coaching crews for the Super Eagles Chan team, under 20 boys and under 17 boys team respectively, as Liverpool are close to a semi-final of the UEFA Champions League place. Details with Abdullahi Ajia on Sports Brief.
The outcome of the NFF Executive Committee meeting held Tuesday after exhaustive deliberations made a number of resolutions. The committee tendered its unreserved apology to the federal government and the people of Nigeria for the inability of the Super Eagles to qualify for the FIFA Qatar World Cup. The committee has mandated its technical committee to recommend coaches for the vacant national teams in order to ensure adequate preparations ahead of their tournaments, while commending the women under-20 team, the Falconets, for their qualification for this year's FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Costa Rica. Meanwhile, Liverpool down Benfica as they put foot into the UEFA Champions League semi-finals after a 3-1 away victory on Tuesday night, just as Manchester City earned a slim 1-0 victory against Spanish champions Atletico Madrid at the Etihad Stadium. Tonight, Chelsea will welcome Real Madrid at Stamford Bridge, while Villarreal host Bayern Munich in another last-8 cracker. With Sports Brief, Abdullahi Hajia, NTA News.
And that's the English version of the news. Up next is translation in other languages. But before we go, do remember to take your COVID-19 vaccine and adhere strictly to safety protocols. Good evening.
Bagbaje shaje wona ya fuada kushigbedayi iwana basha bedai wo mo presiso ayuba wolwa gwa na baje gayi gwamnati la bagbatutu ingaza zahayin wata afi jama'a zo ko luko bagbatu gwamnati ba fizai an kwanwa wo kwalo wai ina amata zo ko luko bagbatu mutu an fe inwata ina kala onize yakubu wada ingaza na gbaje Abdul Latif Bello woni bai da bedai ko yin sanu ba bai kun shaba baje she ababur da na mata dai na cece dai shi ta bai fi inge mata zo ko luko bagbatu wanga an ga bedai pya ko ta jagwadu yake zidan gwamnati kin suna tatishin ba labwa su do gwamnati a shimana a tatishin yin gani ma bakin afani awiya lo fanu bod na ngmama sai ko kwashi ifayin zumba wada inga nyaka ya afana tatishin bayan aya Abubakar Ibrahim wada inga bashi tutin pya na bai na bakin afani awiya na bai babashi tuka bashi ni polo inga ngmama ya kwai a shimana na do na baje bakoto kwa sasa cho shaba kin baje ko win bai ce pala afani ba fi bagbatu faniya na bai babu afanu kaya apma na iye kwai anabaja jesu dai inga wada izana gmangi anambara kinya kokoi ya Professor Peter Omeadi wala katizin wazan inge shikpaje zan kin tukoda zan shinya inge nkuli anko bele na iye ya lefi kwan ifan ojinta wadai ifoma ojinta wadai inge walo inge siyasa gbadogun na yi ga Afghan wen godo inge Professor wa godo weda inge wala aguga wa shi tutun wa shikpa su na bai yikin kwan kwa mu aja kin aje ntu na bieji ba na ba aje ya magbaje anabaji ku zai ba ja da wasu shakwa gife yin wa fina gbada sai su
masu kallon mu barkanmu da yammaci ga fasarar takaitattun labarai mai karantawa Isiyaku Buhari Suleja. An bayyana cewa daga yanzu wanda aka kama da laifin rashin bin dokar tuki za a horar da shi na dole akan dokar hanya har tsawon kwanaki 3 bayan mashi hukunci. Wakilinmu Ono Yakubu ya rawaito mana cewa wanda ya bayyana haka shine shugaban hukumar kulawa da dokokin hanya Abdul Latif Bello a lokacin da suka kama 'yan kabu-kabu da kuma masu adaita sau da laifin kin bin doka. Hukumar babban birnin tarayya da haɗin gwiwar hukumar duba yanayi sun shirya wa manoma wayar da kai game da yanayi saboda samun ƙarin noman abinci. Wakiliyarmu Ifeanyi Ezumba ta rawaito mana cewa sakataren hukumar noma da ci gaban karkara Abubakar Ibrahim ya ce ilmantar da manoma game da sanar da su mahimmancin halin yanayin abu ne da ya kamata a yi domin samun isassun abinci. Tsohon alkalai na jihar Anambra Professor Peter Omaide ya yanka takardar tsayawa takarar a shekara 2023 a ƙarƙashin jam'iyyar Abga. Wakiliyarmu Ifoma Ojinta ta rawaito mana cewa dan takarar wanda ya samu rakiyar ɗimbin magoya bayansa zuwa hedikwatar jam'iyyar Abga, inda ya yanka takardar akan naira miliyan 25, ya ɗauki alkawarin kawo shugabanci mai nagarta da kuma nuna adalci. Jama'a, ƙarshen labaran kenan, mu kwana lafiya.
Ekele m gị n'ịnọnyere anyị n'akụkọ ụwa nke taa. Aha m bụ Rachel Ifi Ono. Tọọ ntị n'ala nara anyị akụkọ anyị jiri bịa n'uhuruchi a. Ndị niile na-ada iwu okporo ụzọ ga-aga ọzụzụ bụ nke ha ga-eme n'abalị 3 mgbe ha natachara ntaramahụhụ. Onoze Yakubu wetara akụkọ na onye isi n'ụlọ ọrụ na-ahụ maka iwu okporo ụzọ Abdulateef Bello kpughere nke a mgbe ha wudere ndị ọgbatumtum nakwa ndị keke n'isi ala anyị. Ya bụ nwa amadi gakwara n'ihu kwuo na nke a bụ iji mee ka ndị mmadụ belata ịda iwu usoro okporo ụzọ. Gọọmenti isi ala anyị nakwa ụlọọrụ na-ahụ maka ihu igwe ejikọla aka ọnụ ma nye ndị ọrụ ugbo ọzụzụ maka ihu igwe bụ nke ga-ebute mmụba nke ihe oriri. Ifeanyi Ezumba wetara akụkọ na onye ode akwụkwọ n'ihe banyere ọrụ ugbo na mmepe ime obodo Abubakar Ibrahim mere ka ọ mata na nke a bụ iji kụziere ndị ọrụ ugbo ihe ndị dị mkpa maka ihu igwe nakwa ụzọ nke a ga-esi metụta ọrụ ugbo nakwa akụnụba ndị mmadụ. Onye nọbụrụ n'ọkwa ọkaikpe ukwu na steeti Anambra, ọkammụta Peter Umadi ewetala akwụkwọ ịzọ ọkwa onyeisi ala n'afọ 2023 site n'otu ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị Abga. Ifeoma Ojinta wetara akụkọ na ya bụ nwa amadi kwere nkwa iweghachite ịdị n'otu n'ala anyị na ọ bụrụ na e nyere ya ohere. O kwekwara nghọta na ndị niile na-akwado ya n'ala anyị niile gbaa gburugburu sonyere ya mgbe o wetara ya bụ akwụkwọ ịzọ ọkwa. Onye ọma na-ege ntị, ọ gwụla ka ọ ha anyị n'ọnụ bụ akụkọ ụwa nke taa. Ndewo.
kalẹ̀ o ẹ̀sìnkú dédé wòyí ròyìn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì Kanu ti ìlú Àbújá ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ̀yìn. Bọ́lájí Mátì ni oníròyìn. Láti wákàtí ọ̀wọ̀ yìí, ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá tàpá sí òfin ìrìnnà ọkọ̀ lórígun mẹ́rin ìlú Àbújá lẹ́yìn ìjìyà, ẹni ọ̀hún yóò lọ fún ètò ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọjọ́ 3 gbáko. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Onoze Yakubu ròyìn wípé olùdarí àjọ tó ń rí sí ìrìnnà ọkọ̀ lójú pópó Abdulateef Bello ló gbé ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀hún kalẹ̀. Ó sọ bákan náà wípé láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ 3 ó lé lọ́ọ̀ọ́dúnrún ọkọ̀ alùpùpù àti kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ 3 tí ọwọ́ àjọ ọ̀hún bà lásìkò ìwọ́de láti fọ ìlú Àbújá mọ́. Ìjọba ìlú Àbújá pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ àjọ tó ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ ojú ọjọ́ ti la àwọn àgbẹ̀ yíká ìlú Àbújá lọ́yẹ̀ lórí bí àkókò ṣe ń yí padà láti lè pèsè oúnjẹ yanturu. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Ifeanyi Ezumba ròyìn wípé ọ̀gá àgbà agbo ètò ọ̀gbìn àti ìdàgbàsókè ìgbèríko Abubakar Ibrahim nínú ọ̀rọ̀ sọ wípé ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀hún wáyé láti kọ́ àwọn àgbẹ̀ ní àwọn ọ̀nà tó ṣe pàtàkì pàápàá ìwíhùn tó ṣe kókó lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìyípadà ọjọ́ bí ó ti ń ṣe àkóbá fún àwọn ohun ọ̀gbìn. Adájọ́ àgbà fún ìpínlẹ̀ Anambra tẹ́lẹ̀ rí ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Peter Omadi ti parapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn tí yóò díje ipò ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè ní ọdún tó ń bọ̀. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Ifeoma Ọ̀jìntà ròyìn wípé lábẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú alámì àkùkọ tí àdàpè rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ APGA ní ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Peter ti rí àṣẹ ọ̀hún gbà níbi tí ó ti pinnu àti ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun láti rí i wípé ìrẹ́pọ̀ àti àlàáfíà jọba ní orílẹ̀-èdè bí òun bá dé orí àlééfà. Tó kì í dùn kó pọ̀ ṣé ó ní ọbẹ̀ oge títí ìwòye ọ̀la Ojúmọ́ Ire ni yóò mọ́ wa.